This week, we're in the Scottish seaside town of Troon for coffee, charity shops and parkrun. We're in the village of Stonehouse for an amazing old graveyard. And we hit the beach at Leven, looking for treasure washed up by the recent storms. But first, an apology. Yes, a sincere apology. To the people of Pennycook. Now, I implied there was not much to see in, well, actually nothing to see in Pennycook. And I was put right, because I was told about that. There is a castle. So let's go and have a look at the old castle. Yeah, look at that. Disneyland, eat your heart out. That is Utters Hill Castle, and it's, yeah, it is technically just inside Pennycook. The Pennycook road sign saying you are now in Pennycook is just up there. So, yeah, I apologise to Pennycook. You've got that castle that I'm sure is a massive tourist attraction. It's also quite emphatically closed. And it's got a sign up there that says CCTV in operation. I think that might be a bit of a lie, or a lot of a lie. So there you are, Utters Hill Castle. That was well worth the detour. To be fair, I don't know if that's the actual castle that people were talking about, but it's definitely a castle. If you Google castle in Pennycook, that is what you are given. But as Daisy is parked with her bottom sticking out on a bend, I'm going to go back down and move her. That is as much of the castle as you are going to see. You'll just have to live with the disappointment. And this old building over here is called Park End, and it was built in 1862 as a home for single women who worked in the paper mills. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's written on that sign. So yeah, that is Park End, a wonderful old building that I'm sure if you want to come to Pennycook, that is worth it alone to see that. And if all that excitement is too much for you, you can always come down to Pennycook High Street for a spot of retail therapy. As you can see, it is absolutely bustling. So if you're wondering if Pennycook is a place you should add to your tourist itinerary if you're visiting Scotland, well, hopefully that has answered that question. And now back to normal programming. And how do you spend a half hour before parkrun? Well, De Niro spends it looking out the window at people, and Bex spends it crocheting, and I spend it worrying about having to do parkrun because I love running, me. And here we go, another week, another parkrun. It's not a bad view though, is it? The running enjoyment today was not helped by the fact that we parked Daisy down on the foreshore last night, where there's an official parking place where you pay £10 overnight, and we got absolutely battered by a huge storm that no one was expecting. It was extremely noisy, the van shook, and the rain just hammered down all night. Wasn't a very pleasant experience, and then we've got to get up and run. Boo. And over there is the finish line. But unfortunately, this park run is loops, so we've got to turn this loop and go and do all that again. Can't wait. But yay, this is the last loop. Back to the finish now for tea and medals. And with that rather chilly run done, we head back to Daisy to check up on De Niro, the ferocious guard dog who's been protecting Bexy's crochet, and to get changed to head into town for a wee look around. And with the park run successfully completed, we're going off into Troon for a wee look around. Alright, that almost rhymed. This is called the Sunken Garden for obvious reasons, but this is the stuff that I really like. This is the photos of Troon back when it was a popular seaside resort. It's still a popular seaside resort, but you don't get thousands of people from Glasgow coming down here every summer now. It's funny how some things have changed and some things haven't. There's the view standing where we are standing now, and there is a church over there. Church on the picture, church on the actual over there thing. So that's the aftermath of last night's storm. Lots and lots of seaweed all over the beach and all over the promenade. And out there you can probably just about see them. There's two big kites. Those guys are kite surfing. That looks like a lot of fun, but also, yeah, not for me. A bit ambitious, a bit athletic, and probably a wee bit dangerous. And of course we've got to show you the War Memorial, but we're going to show you this one because it's particularly interesting, because it's got the usual, this statue was placed to commemorate the men of Troon. But if you look at the top, it's not a soldier with his rifle pointing down or a cross. That is, I think, Britannia, but I'm not completely sure. Could be Britannia or could just be some other woman, but yeah, they've got a lady on the top of the War Memorial. And I know some of you guys like our charity shops, but there's a car boot sale in the town hall, so we're going to go and find the car boot sale. Bex is now worried I'm going to buy even more junk. Bex just said, how marvellous, in the most sarcastic tone of voice you've ever heard. Well, that was a bit disappointing, because it's 60 pence to get into the car boot sale. Now, it's not that we're too tight to pay 60 pence, it's just, who's got cash these days? We've got no cars to take money out of the bank, we've got our phones.
We're not very well prepared, are we?
We're not very well prepared for car boot sales. Oh well, let's go find the charity shops. Although, to be fair, paying to get into a car boot sale is not something that we are wont to do. Believe better, it's a Barnado's. Let's see what excitement awaits in here. Probably not much.
You never know.
You never do. I think we do, actually. As well as the usual array of clothing and collectibles and, well, junk, this shop had a great wee record collection. Who could possibly resist Sidney Thompson and his orchestra? I mean, just look at that cover. That is art. We do wonder if these records ever actually sell, but if you like a bit of easy listening, you can pop in here and buy yourself some Berry Como, or a box set of the complete works of Gilbert and Sullivan. We didn't buy any of those things. And today's mystery object was these two ladles, the sort of thing that people who go to Africa on holiday buy and then bring back and then put in a charity shop.
A new wee crafting thing to try, a wee aardvark and a wee toucan.
Shall we be sampling the local cuisine, shall we? Shall we go to Greg's for a bacon roll and a cup of coffee? Oh, and next up is Marie Curie. Oh, no, it's not. We're off this way first. Oh, it's all very nicely colour coordinated. But not very interesting. Yeah, no comment. Oh. I don't have to go to Canada now. I can buy the mug here. So that is like the main street. It's about as exciting as it looks, and over here is cancer research, so we're going to go for a wee look in here, obviously. Do you want a flask with a dog on it, or a picture with a dog on it, or anything with a dog on it? This is a place to come. Oh, Bex is scored immediately. It's got bright red elephants on it.
I think that's quite nice, actually.
Oh, I think there might be a book being bought. That's the problem when you read as many books as Bex. She picks up these books in charity shops and spends 10 minutes trying to figure out if she's actually read it already or not.
Or read a review of it saying it was good.
Okay, I don't usually do posh coffee, but Bex wants to go for a posh coffee in here, so we're going in here for a posh coffee. Oh, big posh seats. It's like being a toddler sitting in these seats because they're quite low and the table is quite high. Hi Bex! I want a chair like this. It makes me feel like an evil mastermind. I need a little cat as well. So. Yes, Mr. Bond. There are a bewildering array of coffees these days. Personally, I just want a mug in Nescafe with 2 sugars, and that'll do me. Anyway, we had our cup of coffee and our scone and warmed up before we jumped back in Daisy and headed across to the village of Stonehouse, which apparently had an amazing graveyard. Well, so one of our subscribers had told us. And unusually for a graveyard, they've got a historical aspect actually to it. They want people to come and look at the history. So there is the bloodstone. You put your fingers in the skull on that and they come out covered in blood. It's a red mineral deposit inside the stone, and there's a stone with the oldest inscription, which we're going to go and find obviously, and the oldest gravestone, which we obviously will also go and find. So let's go and start our little adventure in St Ninian's old churchyard. And I was so busy looking at the big church that I didn't notice that this goes all the way down there. So let's go and see what we can see. Now I think that stone in front of us is the one with the oldest inscription, but let's go and see if we can see if it is or not. Well, first thing we see is a skull and crossbones up the top there. Second thing we see is 1663, so we're right back in the mid 1600s. Let's have a look. H-E-A-H-E. Oh, here lies the body of James Hamilton, who departed this life 1651. And on the other side of that stone, it's all white. The moss there helps you because the letters here, it's over the top, but there's odd words you can make out. In thy eyes, something something something, and self, and mine eyes shall, and then it's lost under this. That's okay, you've got to concede that is quite a cool gravestone. If you'd like to see more of this graveyard, and a lot of other ones that we visit, check out Places for the Past. It's our other channel that is just dedicated to graveyards for the hardcore graveyard fan. So there's a heart and crossbones. I've not seen that before. It's a heart and crossbones and PMIM. I wonder if that's a married couple that are buried here, and it's, you know, instead of a skull and crossbones, they've got the wee heart. That's a very nice touch. So I think that might be the bloodstone there. I'm going to put my fingers in its eyes, and if they come out covered in blood, I'll probably squeak and then faint. Ah, that's a bit disappointing. Come on. Now if I had a sense of humour, I'd get some red ink and I'd fill that with red ink to make the next person that did that go eek! So here we are right down in the bottom corner. This is a furthest away gravestone, and it is another Marion Thompson and Robert Shearer, in memory of their children Thomas, who died aged 17 days, and Thomas, who died aged 10 years, they must have reused the name, and then James, who died aged 7 years. And from here it is uphill all the way back up to the church. So let's go back up and see what else we can find that is interesting. Well, interesting to me. It's all very nice and very peaceful, apart from a big golden retriever that keeps running across to say hello. It's quite a cute golden retriever, so we'll let it off. There's one that has just got the crossbones. Has it got a date? No, the date bit is now underground. But let's go up this way towards the big obelisk-y thing and see what we can see over there. And over here we have got, now I've just been trying to read this, this is take 4 or 5. It is the burying place of James Jack, or James Lack maybe, James Jack, and Elizabeth Walker. And instead of having all the children listed, it's got and their family from 1816. That probably saves money on mason's bills for getting all the kids added to the gravestone. Now I'll have to check this to make sure I'm not giving you duff information, but the oldest gravestone in the place is down here beside John Brown, and I think it might be this one here, because I think that is actually part of a very old tabletop gravestone, maybe a 12th century, 11th century tabletop gravestone that's been repurposed for whoever is under there. This one's quite nice because I've just spent 5 minutes trying to decipher it and I can't. But most of it says, here lies the corpse of John, now it's the next bit I can't see, John S.H. Shearer possibly, of Kittymuir, who died the 15th of June 1739. I think that says Kitmuir possibly, but anyway, that is John from Kitmuir in 1759. This is a nice wee corner because they're all sheltered by this great big tree that so put the fear into me when I was flying the drone. And don't worry about De Niro missing out on running about the graveyard, he made up for it at his doggy daycare. We're not sure he actually needed his coat on today with all that running about, but anyway, now it's time for us to head back to the seaside. We have come back down to Leven, which you saw on our video a couple of weeks ago, but we're not here to do much in the way of sightseeing. We're here because we've just about sold out of a lot of stuff on our Etsy shop, so we have to go and collect more beach stuff that we use to make the things that we make. The problem being that that beach down there, which is brilliant because it's got a dump just upstream, is now cut off because they're building our railway station. So I'm going to go and see if I can find out how to get down onto it. Wish me luck, this could go spectacularly wrong. There used to be a railway into Leven, and it was all dug up when the place sort of died at the end of mining and the end of the docks, but now they are reinstating it. Levenmouth, boring fact, is the largest area in Scotland by population that doesn't have a rail link, but that's about to change because over there you can see a train. How exciting. Actually, although there's none of it left, I'll have to dig out a picture of the railway network that used to be here, because it is quite interesting how much there was and how little there is. So there you go, an actual train in Leven railway station, and now I look like a train spotter, so I'm going to stop. So where we want to get, I think, is down under that bridge. I think that's the only way onto the island, and it doesn't look very high. So we'll see if we can get through or not. Bex and I call the little beachcombing spot down there the island, although technically it's not an island because it's just a little bit of riverbank, but you know, don't hold it against us. There is definitely a way down onto the island because there are people on it, so I wonder how they got down. We'll try going under the bridge and then there might be an easier way back out. This is part of the old railway network. The new one is finishing on the other side of the river, but this is quite a cool bridge, clearly built to last. And actually not bad height wise, although I do guarantee at some point I am going to smack my head off something because, as you know, I always do. Like that big sticky down bit right there, I'll have to watch that. Yay, made it. Right, let's go and see what we can find. What we're mostly looking for is wee bits like that. I've just realised that is the wrong side. What we're mostly looking for is wee bits like that. It is quite nice down here. It's always fairly quiet. There are some people on the beach at the moment behind me somewhere, but that is the view of Leven from the other side of the river. So let's keep going down here. This is usually, as I say, quite good because there's a big tip just back that way, so that gets washed in, and there's also obviously stuff coming in from the sea, so bottle stoppers, cod marbles, pottery, the lot. I'm not making it up, there's a wee splash of blue. There have been some quite big storms recently, so hopefully there'll be some quite good treasure. It's quite a good day today, because there's another nice little bit of the edge of a plate, I think, but that's quite nice. That'll look good on one of our sea pottery hearts. Let's see what else there is. There's usually lots. I bet today there's nothing because I brought you guys along for a look. You sometimes find some interesting bits because the tip up there is industrial as well as domestic. You find things like that. Now I saw that lying down and thought it was maybe a vertebra or something, but it's not. It is ceramic, so I don't know, something from a house or something, and no idea, but it is quite interesting. It's also not bad for sea glass. You do get some nice colours. It's not the best beach for sea glass, but as I say, it is alright. You sometimes find some nice wee bits, like there's that. And then down there, not made up at all, there's a sort of cornflower blue bit. That's quite pretty. That would have been part of something tasteful, don't you think? It is quite junky, but it's also quite, yeah. Maybe somebody had a pot shaped like a giant lizard, because those do look a bit like scales. Can you spot what I have spotted down there? I'm not going to turn into one of those really annoying beachcombing videos. Oh, can you see what we can see, Tarquin? But there we go. There's a bit of an old clay smoking. Oh, and I've just noticed right next to it, that's the remains of a hot water bottle, I would guess, because it talks about filling it with boiling water. So we'll keep the pipe stem. We will leave the bit of hot water bottle here for somebody else. Yeah, that was. I was just getting ready to say there's really nothing here to find, and then I found that. That is quite an old pipe stem, I think, judging by its size. There's definitely not as much as there usually is here. I don't know why that might be, type of storm possibly, but there's a nice bit of very old green glazed pottery. That will go in a heart. Well, that's quite interesting. Well, interesting is relative, but that was sort of half sticking out the sand, and I thought it was plastic, like a Smarties lid or something, but no, it is some sort of ceramic or some sort of resin. It's certainly heavy and hard. It's not plastic, is the important fact, so it is quite old and very nice. I like that. Sometimes things just jump out at you on the beach. It always amazes me, the iridescence of some objects. You can see, like, obviously there is a big, really bright blue bit lying there. Now if I pick that up and take it home, it won't look like that. It must just be the way the light catches it. That is stunningly beautiful, isn't it, for a little bit of broken glass. I think we'll keep that one. Ow. I knew that would happen eventually. I was going to say it's not been overly successful, but it's still been a nice wee half hour on the beach. But I picked the wrong place to stand because, ow. Fascinating fact, the discovery that got me going with bottle digging and all this history stuff, I made just up over there. I'll show you that later. It's not a very exciting bottle, but I have kept it because it was the first one that I ever found. So this is some of my meagre collection of bottles. I don't have a huge amount compared to some people. I'm looking at you, Willie, from Living the Sky Life. But the first bottle that I ever found is this one. It was lying in the mud under that bridge, and that is from the Shield Hall Cooperative. And I thought the Shield Hall Cooperative would have been quite rare. Unfortunately, I soon found out that if you found a bottle in a Scottish tip, there was a very good chance it was going to be from Shield Hall. But hey ho, they're still nice things to have. I still like collecting them, although I am running out of space in my wee shed. And I don't know why I keep picking up pipe bowls. It's not as if I'm short of pipe bowls, because there's a jar there full of them, and there's a jar down there full of other assorted bits and pieces. And that's it for this week's wee episode of Scotland on a Shoestring. We've certainly racked up the miles this week, so thank you very much for watching. And if you have enjoyed it, please remember to like and share and all that gubbins, and eventually we'll get to 3,000 subscribers, because we've been getting closer and closer very slowly.